Greeting interwebs, this is Jacket K, and happy Halloween! If you can't tell from the opening screen here, I've been busy in October. And because of that, I want to present Bo's Halloween Spook, a Paper Mario mod I've been working for the month of October, technically a little less than that. I don't want to hype it up too much because all I really did was take a few of the maps that already exist in Paper Mario, gave them a fresh coat paint for better and for worse, and changed a bit of dialogue to fit the theme. There's a few other minor things to try to make it a little more interesting, but those I can go into as we go along. But it's a short mod, can be completed in less than an hour, fairly easily. But I think it's still a fun little way to celebrate Halloween, if nothing else. How about we just hop in so I can show you what I mean? It's certainly lovely of Cooper to invite us over for a Halloween party. Nothing brings me with excitement quite like a fresh batch of new faces to give the fright of their life. It gets to be quite a bore with guests rarely getting through Forever Forest. You can only spook that tub of Lubba so many times before it gets old. Who am I kidding? Scaring that big baby will never get old. I just gotta pick up my cute costume from the shop in town, and we'll be ready for the festivities. I can't wait to scare the shells right off of these Koopas. It looks like someone may have already beat me to it. Excuse me, what's going on here? I know there's a party going on, but it seems far too early for things to get this wild. Oh, hello. Welcome to Koopa Village. I wish I could give you more of a proper welcome, but we're in quite the trouble right now. We invited the Fuzzies over to our Halloween party, and they were being good. But someone thought it'd be a good idea to bring the pumpkin spice lattes and let the Fuzzies have some. Now the Fuzzies are so hyper they can't help themselves. They're completely back to their old tricks. Not only did they swipe everyone's shells, but all of our Halloween costumes are missing as well. We're in no shape to have a Halloween party until we get these guys under control. Oh no, stupid Fuzzy, get back here with my shell. Oh my, it seems we're gonna have to deal with these party crashers before we can truly enjoy ourselves. Nah, I'm not kinda sick of this. Mario, we can't leave now, we gotta help the village. Besides, I'm not letting those Fuzzies get away with messing with my Halloween costume like this. So yeah, Fuzzies are back at it, running wild, up to all those shenanigans as they were before. So we gotta get the shells back from the Fuzzies, with a little bit of a twist here and there. So for this mod, every time we save a Koopa, we get a little something in return. I can't expect this in every Paper Mario mod, but considering this one's so short, I figure it's a good excuse to give people a lot of badges fairly quickly. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not trying to make this hard. Far from it. In fact, I probably go all my way to make this as easy as possible. Case in point, free fire flower. So anything I can add into it to spice up the fun, make the few battle. There's so few battles in this as is. Just anything that can make them a bit more fun without worrying about balancing or anything, I consider a plus for this sort of thing. So here we are, going through all the shenanigans and all that. I guess, these are pretty much vanilla text with a little twist on the end just to justify the Koopa giving the badge. So I think I'm going to talk about a few other things before we get into the next... Well, after we go to the shop to get the next big story beat, because technically this is a story beat, because Bo mentions she's going to go to the shop to pick up a Halloween costume. Sorry, Mario. Shop's closed for the Halloween party. Even if it wasn't, the Fuzzies ransacked all my wares, including the Halloween costumes I had for sale. Cooper already picked up the order for your ghost friend there. Though the Fuzzies may have been a bit nuts, so should go check up on him. I think he's waiting for you two at his place. Hopefully the Fuzzies haven't got to him first. Oh, I completely forgot to talk to the Koopa again. Nothing too big, but just a little nudge to push you to the Halloween shop in the first place. Again, you could probably just go, you can go straight to Cooper, so none of this is necessary, but I just added in there for people who would follow the story beats of Vanilla Paper Mario and talk to him a second time, because he would typically tell you how to actually progress the plot in that. Also, we got ourselves a nice dandy Koopa leaf. A familiar item, but it seems a little different this time. You may remember that it only heals 3 FP before, but now it heals a whole 5. Again, another thing that I did to go out of my way to make sure this mod was as easy as possible. I'm not trying to make a hard thing here, like, I'll get back to that thought in a sec, but I do kind of like what I do with this Koopa. Go out? Nah. I've never been a fan of big Halloween parties. Way too much noise, too many stuffy costumes, and don't get me started on the crazy pranksters. It's no shock those Fuzzies are going wild tonight. I'd rather relax at home. Me and my pals are gonna chill to some tunes and marathon some Halloween specials. Can't think of a better way to enjoy the night than with some classic TV specials with friends. We just can't catch a break. Just when it seems like the Fuzzies have settled down, they're causing an uproar all over town again. I heard they got a taste of some of Colorado's wife's homemade pumpkin spice latte. I know that's a mouthful of a sentence. I can't really think of a better way to phrase it. Like, how else do I talk about the fact that Colorado's wife brought some homemade pumpkin spice lattes and someone gave that to the Fuzzies? I'll take any input. What sort of insane person would give a Fuzzy coffee? They're already hyper enough as is. All we want is a little peace. At least the days of us Babans being imprisoned are long gone. We are thankful for that. You know, we should have a festival to show how thankful we are. But what would be a good name to call it? Graceful Sunday? Yeah, I don't know. I gotta find some way to give thanks to people, though. I was gonna go party with the others, but my friends wanted to marathon the Halloween specials tonight, so I came here. Boy, did we luck out, considering the current mess with all the Fuzzies. What did a Fuzzy even take from Babam? I'm just glad we don't have to find out. Watching TV all night is looking pretty good right now, considering the alternative. 3 cheers for a night of chilling and not getting pestered by Fuzzies. So thought, yeah, like, I guess I want, the overall point is I want to make this mod as casual friendly as possible. So, it's going to be pretty easy, and you could probably, I don't know if I go so far as say you could probably go for the entire game without any badges, but I definitely made it loose enough so there's multiple ways to beat it. Obviously, there's probably an optimal way to beat it, which will probably become apparent once we finish picking up all the badges from all the Koopas here. But there's... the point being, like, I want to make sure there's as much freedom with different playstyles as possible for this. There's plenty of opportunities to make a natural hard mod. And this guy is probably the most controversial one of the bunch. This might be a tricky badge to use, but I bet someone like you would get the hang of it in no time. The comment of that is kind of more so just like, because it's an expensive BP badge, but it'd be worth it if you can make it work. Plus technically, it's a huge risk because you do nothing if you miss out on your action command. But I guess most people who are going to pick up a Paper Mario mod are probably already familiar enough with their action commands to the point that they're never going to miss them. And to them, it's just free extra attack if they don't get the... I wouldn't call it a joke, but I don't know what else I would call it. Anyways, These darn kids making all this rackets for no good reason. Why, if I was just a little bit younger, I'd go out there and show those whippersnappers a piece of my mind. Back my prime, even veteran Paper Mario players tremble in the mere mention of the name Koopa Koot. What's that? The Fuzzies are back at causing chaos in town? Bah! That's just what they want you to think so they can get away with their wild and crazy Halloween party. Can't pull the wool over this Koopa's eyes. Even during Halloween, Colorado can't afford to take a couple minutes to spend time at home. He better not come back with some old bones from one of his expeditions as a souvenir for Halloween or something. That Colorado. I swear, if he's not home by the holidays, I'm really gonna chew his ear out. So, I think we've talked to everyone in town, picked up everything we can. Make sure I add a clip. All or nothing. It's not that I don't think it's a good idea. Having all or nothing is a really good badge and kind of breaks an already easy mod. But I want to have a little more fun with that. Want to do a few more silly things than just attack, boost, go, boo, or whatever the meme goes. Obviously, if that's how you want to play it, all the more power to you. If I really didn't want people to use it, I would have taken the badge out. I thought it was like a good reward. But for me, for this playthrough, I'm gonna go with this setup. And we might mess around with that a little bit here and there. Who's there? I'm kind of busy right now. Cooper, what in the world's going on in there? Oh, Mario, Bo, you made it. So I picked out your costume from the shop. But as you can see, things are kind of screwy at Koopa Village at the moment. The Fuzzies are out of control. They swiped everyone's Halloween costumes and a lot of shells in the process. I tried to hold them off, but one of those sneaky fuzzballs snuck up from behind and swiped it. I'm sorry, Bo. I know it's your first Halloween away from the mansion and you were really looking forward to it. And I had to ruin it by getting outsmarted by a stupid Fuzzy. Now, it's all good. All we gotta do is teach those naughty Fuzzies a lesson and nab the costumes back. It'll be a good excuse to give someone a fright. Alright, I think the Fuzzy is still inside. So I'll guard the door and you can spook him like wah! Excellent idea. That Fuzzy will have no idea what hit him. Let's go, Mario. I think it's about time to show these Fuzzies why it's a bad idea to mess with ghosts. Apologies for the next 2 seconds you're about to see. Yeah, I'm still learning about textures. So, there are some things that I just could not find anywhere in the code to actually change. Huh. Something seems a little suspicious over in the corner there. And I think I saw something over here too. Yeah, I got ourselves Flower Finder and Heart Finder. And honestly, I think these badges are just as good as All or Nothing for this sort of mod. Because there is... If you can find room to squeeze one of them in, especially the FP one, you really don't have to worry about spending FP at all here. That being said, though, I guess I'll keep that on for right now. Why don't we get into a battle or two? These Fuzzies aren't really too different from the normal Paper Mario, but Bo's a little different. Instead of having out of sight, we get Spook right away. Contrary to popular belief, this was a choice to make the game easier, not harder. Because, spoiler alert, we can do that to almost every enemy that we come across in this mod. Plus, it's Halloween, Bo's being all spooky as a ghost. I thought it'd be more fun than just going invisible. Like, I can't really think of a... With the enemies I put in this, there's not even a good opportunity to take advantage of out of sight. So, I actually felt kind of wasted to have the move. Now, if these Fuzzies would actually get status, so I could actually have some fun, that'd be nice, but beggars can't be choosers. Now, if I was smart, then I would have equipped Flower Finder before going into that battle, but I mean, it's not really too necessary because we do got the FP healing options here. Got honey candy, lime candy, lemon candy. Probably should have taken like 2 extra. As much as I wanted to get this done before the Extra Life stream yesterday, I probably could afford to take a few more seconds to actually change this into a full HP recovery. But there's plenty of time to experiment, get opportunities to heal, and all that. Oh my, Cooper never mentioned that there was this dark and ominous in the village. This is simply marvelous. Why didn't he bring this up sooner? Still, we should keep our eyes open and pay attention to our surroundings. It's probably very easy to get lost here. That being said, if I can make the FP for it, this might be a good time to actually just get a little Flower Finder action going on here. Now, this is initially a room that had an NPC. I figured out how to remove the NPC, but it's a little barren, don't you think? Well, if only there was some reason to come here. Oh hey! Hidden badge. I think the fact that the room is completely empty is enough in and of itself. At least from what I've seen people play, I think I conveyed that message well enough. Fun fact, a thought I had, I'm hesitant to even say a cut feature because I'm not sure why I would even take the time to do anything with it. I was considering trying to look into seeing if I could like copy Wasp's abilities onto Bo, so like you could hide and that would make the invisible blocks appear. Again though, probably not worth taking the time to actually implement that, even if I didn't force myself into the tight time frame that I had to complete this. So let me see, this would do 2, and then Bo would be able to smack to finish it off, and yeah, that would work. But also, we haven't really shown off Dizzy Stomp yet, and I think I want to do that at least once. So screw being smart, I'm gonna have fun. Like I was saying, for sake of trying to get it done in less than a month, I did kind of... There are aspects of it that feel a little lazy, and I did kind of feel bad that there wasn't more to it. So, and then I had the work already done from Sweet Expedition, so I copied a few things over from Sweet Expedition to put into this, just to add a little extra to the actual gameplay, because like that's what makes the game after all. So in case you are confused why the Fuzzy's attacking us but just constantly missing, this was something this is an update to status effects that I got inspiration / copied over from Darkstar, technically also from Master Quest 2.0, of having certain status effects behave slightly differently. Only one I really have working so far is Dizzy. So that's why you see the focus on like the Dizzy Spin and the Dizzy Stomp, and you don't see things that would normally cause like paralysis or... Why am I blanking on the other stats right now? It's gonna come back to me when I least expect it. Also, I've been spinning around so long I forgot which way I'm supposed to go. Yeah, if you play vanilla Paper Mario, this part shouldn't be too tricky. I didn't really do anything special, it's just the fact that you go right from Koopa Village to here, that's the only real difference. This mushroom seems to be glowing a bit longer than usual. I wonder what that's about. Alright, do I want to try to play smart again? No, I think the smartest thing to do at this point is to show off that Spook works on these enemies as well. And then I can finish it off with a power stomp. I did equip the Get Me More FP badge, right? Sorry for the pause. I don't know what's up, like, considering that this is a retake and it's the second time it's happened on the first take too, that's a little alarming, not gonna lie. I'm trying to think of what to say, and only thing that comes to my mind right now is apologies in advance for if I sound a little tired and my commentary isn't as per grand as it usually is or whatever. I am recording this the day after watching the Extra Life stream, and for those who don't know, Extra Life is a charity stream that a YouTuber I watch. Well, Extra Life itself is a charity event that a lot of people do, but the people I in particular watch for Extra Life, they have a very special type of stream where they basically take a game, like past some years would be N64, one year was GameCube, or 1 year was N64, 1 year, couple years was GameCube, couple years was an entire Nintendo Wii library. I forgot that Piranha Plants could actually drop fire flowers. That's interesting. And they would just tell their audience, hey, we got the entire Nintendo Wii library. If there's a video game you want us to play, donate towards it, and whichever game earns the most money, we'll play for like 30 to 40 minutes. And then move on to the next game. And that's the entire stream for like the entire day and then some. Like, I was up to 1 a.m. in the morning, and they were still going strong. So I'm probably, considering that my body woke me up around 8 still, I'm probably functioning under at least 7 to 6 hours of sleep, which might be why I'm a little tired and a little off-canny compared to usual. So, worth it, but sorry if it's impacting the video. This take's going a little bit better than the first one, so I guess that in by itself justifies it a bit. I'm kind of a little conflicted, like, this project went places. Like, it started out, oh, I don't know if I'm actually gonna finish this, but I'll mess around with it just to get you started out again. And then, like, it got to a point where I got halfway. It got to a point where I was not gonna have as much time as I wanted to finish it by Halloween. But in the same vein, I spent too much time on it to completely abandon it. So I guess my solution was just crunching. Oh. I'm actually kind of surprised that the game was generous enough to let me get a second chance at that timing, because it definitely feels like I kind of pushed it a little. And the fact that I'm doing so well against... This is supposed to be the quote-unquote hard group, the one that encourages you to use Spook just to win. Or maybe an item or badge will get very soon to get through it. But the fact that I'm actually going through it relatively normally, I feel like... it surprises me, but I'm pleasantly surprised. It's because it meant that I did the right thing and didn't make it too hard. Just hard enough to make the average player think a little, I guess. I guess it also goes to show that, like, it helps prove my point that you don't need a perfect combination of badges to get through this just fine. Now, where was my train of thought before I inconveniently crashed into the pageant? So, if only we had a move that did 4 damage to all enemies, that would be pretty convenient at a time like now. We do have a little more FP. I've been way too stingy with my FP recovery items. Let's give them a little fright. Well, that could have gone better. Do I want to just try Spook again? I feel like that last one was a fluke. Because I didn't bash the bar completely, but I did get pretty close. Okay. We can work with that, I suppose. But you never had a moment when you have a sneeze and it just won't come out. That's kind of what I'm suffering through at the moment. We're not too far from the end. Like this, I think this is the last room of the forest because I did abridge it out slightly. But I am trying to keep my eyes open. Me arc, fuzzy base here. No plumbers allowed. I'm trying to think if there's any more fun combinations that we can pull off of these fuzzies. Not really with this badge combination. I guess if I spin smash each of the forest fuzzies, I'll eventually take them all out. Yeah, you know what? It may seem smarter to just take out the weaker one, but then they could just multiply. So this way, they are at least I don't have to worry about that, and I could just oh well, assuming I got the guard right, I could just spin smash and finish them all off. Guess not everything works out to a perfect science. But I'm also not feeling that endangered. Yeah, Spin Smash will take out 2 of them. And also make this fuzzy weak enough for me to finish off the one at the end. So we don't have to worry about any more multiplying fuzzies. And I think this is pretty good for a setup. I don't even care that you actually healed. I think the sad part is I might have gotten more hurt to that fight than I have on some attempts at the boss fight. The last alternate path. Oh shoot, I completely forgot to actually get the super shroom from the first area. Oh, it's fine. But yeah, first going into the forest. If you search around a little bit more, you might actually find a super shroom. Not that you exactly need it. But speaking of, this combination is kind of broken, I don't lie. Just go all or nothing. Power Quake, win. I'll be a little more generous than that though. Do you want to keep Power Quake though? Actually, maybe I'll go for Power Bounce instead of Power Quake, just so I can show some. Because I know I've already seen a playthrough that actually takes advantage of that. So maybe I can do something a little different just to spice things up. Or to dare at least show off. Just have fun with the concept that the beauty of Paper Mario is that. Oh, I guess I never did actually show this off. If you go the wrong way in the forest. Huh, looks like we ended up back at the entrance. Remember how in Forever Forest you would have to look for the path that's different in order to progress? I do believe if we take that same logic into these woods, we'll catch up to that fuzzy in no time. And I guess this also means I can, show off the mushroom. It's a lot more hidden. I was going to move it slightly more to the right so it's more noticeable. Somewhere along the line, it got pushed too far to the left, and I never got around to moving it back. But hey, if you know where it is, you got a nice free secret healing item. I think this is about where we were before we got lost. But this is where we gotta go. Yeah. Definitely had this is definitely an oversight tied between doing all my playtesting going in here without sound or just going by here so fast I don't even notice the sound change. Oops. Anyways, yep, time for this story beat. Deja vu, and never seen anything quite like this before. while we're going for this bouncing patch, fun trivia. I tried to implement some things in here, like a save point, a heal point, and even have the sweet shroom show up in this room. But I got no idea why, but for some reason, occasionally when Mario interacts with something that's been modded in this room in particular, Mario would freeze up. Like, he'd go for the you got the item thing, and then he'd be stuck in place until you reset. So, I think you can see why I wouldn't want to put stuff in here when that was happening, and I could not figure out why that was. Maybe I gave up too easily. Oh, let's be honest, I definitely gave up too easily. I completely forgot that this actually play boss music. Keep it simple. Power jump. And then smack. Burned a little more FP than I would like going into it, but we have FP healing items for days. I'm definitely being way too stingy. Yeah, I'm not... You know what? What else am I gonna do with these fire flowers? I guess I could also spook. But that would take FP. Alright. For real, actually look at the screen, Jackie Cam. Watch the fuzzies go by. This is the first round. It shouldn't be that fast. Oh, I guess it is the fastest one. Fine. I'm so sorry. Today has just not been my day. Between being tired, these technical difficulties, but still persisting on getting this done, because if I don't upload this by Halloween, then what's the point? We're getting through it, though. That's basically the second last thing to actually do in this entire mod. And you know what, I'm gonna double check this, see how it behaves. Bo's Halloween hat, cool. It doesn't just display random blank text. Excuse me? I was just checking Bo for the heck of it, and... What the heck? This is the glitch I was talking about, but I literally took out all the things I added into the room. I have no idea why it's just frozen like this. I think like the only modifications were those I made to make the fuzzy yellow. No, there shouldn't be any changes in here to make the game freeze. Oh, what was I freaking out over? I literally put a save point right before the boss fight. And because I'm a good gamer, I save every time I see a save block, subconsciously. Okay, I was freaking out a bit more than I needed to. Rushing to the left before anything terrible can happen. York. I changed my mind, sucker. How about a fight? So, this is a bit of a fuzzy gauntlet. We got ourselves a jungle fuzzy, which maybe I could have changed to go fuzzy, but considering it acts more like a jungle fuzzy than a normal fuzzy, or the go fuzzy, that's fine. Got a forest fuzzy, got the whole family. I can think of one way to kind of make this fight a little easier. Now, obviously because it's the boss, I made sure that the jungle fuzzy couldn't run away. And just so you can use Spook to get things done. Okay, yeah. I did the health of the forest fuzzy in the forest is different from the boss fight. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Just forgot to change the health back, and that would have solve so many problems, because you can just equip all for nothing, equip Power Quake, and clear the whole field in one attack, completely negating the whole point of using Bow for Spook in that fight. I mean, you could still do the same thing with Power Quake, but point aside, I done goof. But at least we still got plenty of other tools to play around with. Like, I really don't think we gotta worry about this being a hard fight at all, even without Power Quake. Case in point. On the tangent of making things easier, because I figured Mario would have less HP, and this was a more casual mod anyways. That only does one attack per hit. Fun fact, Shrink Stomp was going to be one of the badges he got here, and I was on the fence of... sold on the fence of if I wanted to actually keep Shrink Stomp, but make the Jungle Fuzzy do 2 damage per hit again, or take out Shrink Smash in general. Now, I believe I put a cap here. Granted, I think it was a very generous cap. It might have been as high as 10. I have to double check. But there is a cap on here, so you can't just power bounce it to death in a single attack. And let's see, anything else I want to play around with before finishing it off? Well, I would, if I had the FP to do so. And I guess now's a good time as any to use our honey candy. I mean, like, mod's gonna be over after this anyways. Alright, there's the other thing I want to try is I want to see if Dizzy Stomp would work. Guess not, but that does put in just the right range for Bo to finish him off. I would say that it was intentional, but I don't even remember anymore. Sorry. A lot of things this month have been quite a blur. So, we did good. Stop the Fuzzies. Day is saved. Thanks to Mario's help. They drove off, and all the stolen Halloween costumes were recovered. The party was able to resume as usual, and Halloween was saved. Even the Fuzzies were able to join the party, once they promised to behave, and once the Koopas promised not to sneak caffeine into their drinks, at the very least. It was certainly a night to remember, and that is the story of how Mario and Bo saved Halloween, for one village. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. I think I made the mod look a lot longer than it actually is, if my recording length is anything to say, but there's probably a bit of cutting out because of just backtracking back through the woods and restarts because of freezes and dumb stuff like that. But I hope you enjoyed this all the same. Probably crammed a little bit more than needed to get it done, and if I actually started at the beginning of the month, or better yet, it actually started in September, there's definitely a few things I would have polished, but honestly, it came out more polished than the freaking Game Jam release of Sweet Expedition, and that is why you don't see a video of it on the channel, because, well, for one, I was so convinced I'd be done with it by now that it would have been redundant, because I was so busy during the Game Jam working on my own project and recording videos of everyone else's projects. I figured I might as well wait, but now it's in a weird state at the moment. I'll talk more about it, because I do plan on making a video doing basically a full playthrough of everything I have so far. And it'd be more fitting to go over it there. So that's all I got. Hope you enjoy your Halloween, even though it probably won't have as many fireworks as Mario does in this particular scenario. And you know what, since this is going to be cut out of the video, maybe I can go get that other secret as well. The big secret. I'm just going to ignore these enemies because Beehive has Possessed, they're the same as original. So this is a pretty good item, considering it's the best HP healing we got. Pretty good FP healing. Also, yeah, Super Shroom got slightly buffed just to pretty much justify it as a full, pretty much to make it a full heal for this mod in particular, more or less. But why would that block be over to the right? Unless something else was hidden around here. Ootswack. A weak strike that may poison. Ah, shoot. I forgot to show off the badge that I said I would. Let's find some unfortunate victims for Ootswack. And I'll go more into what it is afterwards, because that will actually be harder than it sounds. This will do relatively nicely. So, it's weak, it does the same damage as normal hammer. Depending on how balancing works out, it might actually do less than a normal hammer. I've been trying to debate of what's stronger or not, but in exchange, you do a little bit of poison damage, sticking like 1 or 2 each turn, and it gets stronger the more your hammer gets upgraded. The damage from your hammer itself doesn't upgrade like per usual, so the trade-off would be it's cheap on FP, badge FP wise, but it's a little costly in BP for how weak it is, and it also makes your hammer weak. Like, even if you're upgraded to Super Hammer, you'll still do 2 damage. In exchange for being a weaker hammer that only does 2 damage, even when your normal hammer does 4, you end up, the amount of poison damage you do, or how long the poison lasts, increases. Like, I think with the Super Hammer, it goes up to 4 or 5 turns. I think with the Super Hammer, it goes up to 3 turns of poison, and with the Ultra Hammer, it goes up to either 4 or 5 turns of poison. I gotta double check the numbers, and they'll likely change by the time I actually implement the badge in Sweet Expedition, but it was already made. I felt kind of bad that so much of this would feel familiar. I was worried that there wouldn't be enough new content to actually feel like a new mod with how much it's basically just recycled maps. So I threw that badge in to try to give something to work with. Obviously, not really. All your other badges probably do just as well, if not better, but I thought it was a fun tease of things to come with Sweet Expedition whenever I actually get around to finishing it. I did think of one more piece. Well, we're just randomly whacking things with Oozwhack. I thought of one more piece of trivia. Or, like, developers stuff in general. Part of the inspiration of Oozwhack was, if you play Sweet Expedition already, or watched one of the videos or release of it, one of the quote-unquote new party members actually has an ability to poison all enemies. Since poison is already a thing in Sweet Expedition, I figured a badge like this wouldn't be too broken. Now, does that refresh the poison? I haven't played around with this badge too much, even in playtesting in my own project. Really should if I plan on releasing that anytime soon, but If you find Ooze whack, feel free to play around with it yourself, and feel free to message me what you think about the move. Definitely open to some feedback about it, because I don't want it to be broken, because poison is definitely a very easy thing to be broken. But I do want it to actually be interesting enough to justify using. So any feedback that helps me get that balance better, I'm all ears for. I guess a lot of it's going to depend on just what enemies I have in the same proximity as the badge. While I have a recording session going and we're right here, I was going to say, let's just show off how broken Power Wake and All for Nothing are. But then I remember I have to do the fuzzy minigame before I can actually fight the fuzzy. We'll see if my patience lasts long enough to show that off. Okay, so I have All or Nothing equipped. Got Power Quake here. I forgot to make the fuzzies HP 6 like they are actually in the forest. And boss already lost all of his mooks. And will die this turn. Unless I am really bad with this action command. Yeah, it's kinda busted. Probably would have been for the best if I, did any other combination of things, but it is what it is. Not too worried, because it isn't meant to be hard, but I'll admit it's a bit of an oversight that Power Quake just is that devastating in combination with All or Nothing. Slight oversight. It's even more fun if you actually do take the time to level up before this fight and upgrade your VP. I can't believe no one else has noticed the pumpkin bush leaves, or at least they've been too kind not to point it out. So dumb, because apparently this bonsai tree uses the same texture as the bushes. So I didn't notice it until I started playtesting, and even then I didn't find it worth it to change, because that would change the texture of the pumpkin bushes. So, nah, I won't. I'll leave that alone. It'll just be a funny Easter egg for whoever notices it. No one will be the wiser.